Welcome to Chamber Connection. I am Mary Hodson, president of the Hutchinson Chamber of Commerce and Tourism. I'm so glad that you joined us today because we are going to get the inside scoop on the projects that are happening between West, Park, and Tiger. And with me to do that is Darren Vanderheiden, Superintendent of Hutchinson Public Schools. Welcome.
Good afternoon. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, thank you for taking the time because I know that your schedule is super chaotic. We're just a couple of weeks, I think teachers might come back next week.
Actually, we have new teachers. We've got 26 new teachers coming into the district next Monday.
Okay.
They'll spend 1 week with us prior to the rest of the staff returning the following Monday. So
Okay.
we actually are going to have breakfast with them next Monday morning, introduce them, welcome to Hutchinson and to their new classrooms and their new buildings. So we're excited
Awesome.
about that too.
That's great. So a lot on the plate. You know, a couple years ago, we were talking about this new high school renovation, and now you are truly in the midst of a project that some people haven't even seen because it hasn't been a disruptor to classes per se.
Not at this point.
What's
Yeah.
happened so far?
Yeah,
What's going on?
Tiger Elementary is connected to West Elementary. It's about almost 3/4 completed at this point. In fact, if you drive by it from the outside, it almost looks like it is complete, but there's a lot of
Yes.
work that has to
Okay.
go on the inside. So we are on schedule and on budget. Both of those things are really good. And we're super excited about the way it's turning out. So
Good.
we're looking
I
for...
think we have an overview of
Yes,
that,
yes.
the project overview itself, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what are we looking at here?
Yeah, so this is a good representation. Down here, you'll see this is our current West Elementary,
Okay.
and you can see some of the colored areas there. We did do some major renovations inside of West as well.
Okay.
We improved the air quality through new univents throughout West Elementary. And then in the colored areas, this area here specifically, that's going to be the new ECFE building. So the little temporary
So
building.
the little temporary building
Yes,
that's 30 years old?
that sits over there, that will now be the new ECFE, and they will have their own new front door.
Oh, nice.
So this parking lot is set up for our parents for ECFE classes to enter there.
Okay.
And then we did a new STEM room where the media center used to be in West Elementary.
Okay.
And we're excited about that as well because we designed it specifically for STEM education. And then we did put in a new kitchen at West. That is going to be one of the shared facilities between West Elementary and Tiger.
Okay.
So we're going to have one kitchen that'll serve both. There'll be a serving kitchen in Tiger, but most of the food will be prepared in West.
Okay.
And then they'll each have their own cafeteria. So West Elementary students will eat here, and Tiger Elementary students will eat in that area.
Okay.
Right up here.
Okay. So I'm just orientating myself, and for people who are a little challenged when it comes to North, this is North.
Yep.
And this is the main entrance if you're familiar with West.
Correct.
This is where you would go in and the offices are right there and that's
Yes.
where Miss Kim is
Right.
greeting everybody.
Right.
Okay.
And when we start school in the fall, West will operate as it always has. So K1 will be there. We are changing a few of the things up, like our current Circle Drive.
Yes.
That will now be, well, it has been our bus loop, but to start the year, that will continue to be our bus loop. But on the north side, up here, that's actually going to be our new parent drop-off when school opens.
Okay,
And then
so we're
that'll-
not taking kids and buses through this space.
Correct. We want to make sure that we have that traffic separated for the safety of our kids. So parents will drop off up in this lot. They'll either go through the kindergarten entrance or ECFE or over here in the first grade area.
I really like that.
Yes.
That's great for safety. Okay, so then we are connected. We've got this hallway here.
Yes.
So if you're familiar, that you said that's the lunchroom. And then we have classrooms up here.
Yeah, this wing is pretty much dedicated to first grade. We do have some specialists in this area, and then all the rest of the first grade will be in this area. If you recall, we used to have first grade here, and now we've been able to group them all together.
Okay. So going to date myself a little bit. It's been a while since I've had a child in this building. Things
Sure.
get a little foggy after a
Yes,
while.
yeah, absolutely. And it's been a while since I've been the principal. You know, I was the principal at West
Gosh,
for a
that's
number of
right.
years and
Yeah.
really enjoyed that. And it's nice to see some of these changes happen with
Right.
West now.
Right.
Yeah.
It is really nice that you have been able to be in so many of the buildings over your career with Hutchinson, because you have a better understanding of how the buildings actually work.
Certainly, and the culture and kind of what that age of student really needs. And when West was built, it was specifically designed for 5 and 6-year-old children, and we wanted to kind of maintain that at West. And that's one of the reasons that this maintains K1 and 2-3 is going to be here. And as you know, both of these buildings, they'll operate as independent schools.
Okay. So this will be still West up to that point, and then we move into Tiger.
Yeah.
So tell us about Tiger.
Okay, so Tiger Elementary, like I said, we're about 3/4 done with the building at this time. We will not have students in it to start school in August 30.
Right. Okay.
Right? So we're looking at a transition around Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So we're looking to get occupancy of that building October 29th. We're going to have from October 29th up until the Thanksgiving break to start transitioning.
Okay.
And then the week of the Thanksgiving break, our 2nd and 3rd grade students will not have school that week
Okay, for the whole week.
for the whole week. And then our teachers and staff will start transitioning classrooms from Park Elementary into Tiger. So when kids return from Thanksgiving break, they're going to return to this new building, which will be really, really exciting.
That'll be really exciting. I was talking with a teacher that's going to be making that transition from Park to Tiger.
Yes.
And, any move it has excitement and trepidation and anxiety. But she said the fact that we're all going together as a class, right? The students aren't doing it alone. She's not doing it
Right.
alone. She said that creates the opportunity. So that's going to be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, we're hoping to get occupancy of the building by October 29th. So we will basically have that month to start orientating staff. We're hoping to have some times for our student body to come in and see the building prior to them actually moving into
Like
it.
their own second
Yeah.
open house.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. And we're hoping that maybe we can invite parents in at that time so they can
Sure.
see the new building as well.
Sure.
So
So let's take a look at that first floor. I think we have another image of just
Yes.
that. There we go. Okay. Now orientate us. We're still looking at the same way,
yeah,
right?
so that's the north
Okay.
end. And the first floor and the second floor are pretty much mirror images. You'll see that we did add 2 first grade classrooms on the south end to add capacity. So 2 of our first grade classrooms are actually part of the new building.
Okay.
But when you go into the inside, it'll look
It'll
separate.
still-
It'll
okay.
still feel like the first grade wing.
Okay.
You'll see that we've got some special ed spaces that we're going to share between the buildings in that
Okay.
transition area.
Okay.
Where it says Vest, that'll be the front door of the building.
Okay.
It'll have a secure entry like the rest of our buildings, so visitors will have to go through the reception area before they get into the building. And of course, we've got all the video surveillance cameras
Sure.
and all that included
Where
as
people
well.
actually need to bring their driver's license
Yes.
to actually get in
Yes.
the building.
Yep, and they
Yep.
need to sign in and sign out and,
I like
and all
that.
that. So we'll have
Okay.
all those protocols in place. And you're familiar with our new high school.
Oh, yes.
We did something similar there with the cafeteria. So it'll serve as a cafeteria for breakfast and lunch, but it'll also be an area for us to gather and use as
Okay.
kind of a foyer area as well. And that's right off that vestibule when you
Nice.
come in. You can see where the gym is. And then we've wrapped second grade all the way around, and we've got some group learn areas. We've got some flex rooms similar to what we have at the high school. So they can all be a grade level group. And then on the 3rd floor, we just replicate that with 3rd grade right above them.
Okay.
So,
Okay. And I see that we have this angle over here.
yes.
Any reason why?
We really wanted to orientate the building to the north because that's the best natural light.
Okay.
For learning, and you'll see that whole north side is just full of windows, and we're going to have really nice natural light. So we tried to put all of our academic areas facing that north light.
So if you've been in the high school, kind of the same concept, some
Yes.
windows. Do you even have maybe some transoms in the?
We don't have transoms in this one like we do at the high school, but we do have lights in each door.
Okay.
So we get some of that natural light
Yeah.
that will spill into the hall. And then this stairwell too is going to be open to help light the corridor as well.
Okay.
So
So then let's just take a quick look at that second floor then.
Yep.
Oh, there we go.
And you can see how the third grade wraps around the group learn areas, the
Sure.
bathroom suite, and some of the flex rooms. Yeah.
Great.
I should have also mentioned over here, maybe on the floor plan from earlier. Yeah, this is going to be our new bus loop. Because
Okay.
remember, that was one of the keys at Park Elementary is we did not want to have our bus shuttle location on a city street.
Right.
So this will be the new bus loop, and it's going to be behind the building. It'll be separated from all the parent traffic, pickup, drop off. Our buses will actually go through the middle school and then come into this loop. So this will be on the east side of the building.
So that path is becoming a road?
Yes.
The path that used to
will
go
no
from
longer
west
be
to-
right. That will no longer be
Okay.
a path, but there will actually be a road that leads into this loop.
That's so exciting.
Yes.
Okay.
And then this will also serve as some hard surface play area for
Okay.
the playgrounds. There's playgrounds located here and over in here as well.
Okay.
So, yeah, we're excited about this. We think this is a much safer
And this will
bus
serve-
situation.
West as well?
Yes. So
Okay.
this will be
So
the
they'll just-
K5. Yes.
Okay.
And one of the issues that we've always had at West Elementary is our youngest students had to transfer buses. And it never worked very well. So you're asking a 5, 6-year-old child to ride a shuttle bus and then go find their take-home bus. So we've eliminated all that, where our K and 1 will be able to get on their take-home bus right here in this shuttle area.
Okay.
So
And then will the buses go to Park or will the buses come from Park?
they will come from Park. So we're going to
Okay.
shuttle the 2 grade levels at Park up here. And 4th and 5th graders, they can advocate for themselves. They will have no problem finding their take-home bus and jump on that and get a bus ride
Awesome.
home. So it's all good.
Awesome. Okay, so November, Thanksgiving, school starts back up.
Yeah.
2nd and 3rd are here.
2nd and 3rd will have the entire week off, and they'll even have the Monday following the Thanksgiving break, which I think is the 29th. And they will return to this building on Tuesday the 30th
Okay.
to start in the new building.
So December 1st, Park Elementary
Yeah.
is now.
So that's our next logistical challenge that we have.
Okay.
So all the classrooms that are located in the 1938 portion, we will be transitioning them from November, the end of November Thanksgiving break, up to the Christmas break. We'll transition them from the 38 portion into the 56 portion. So they're all going to move classrooms.
So for those people who are not really, so I know that to the north of Park, there is an addition.
Yes.
Is that the,
That's what we always call the 56 edition. Yes,
Okay.
that was built in 1956, and it also includes what used to be the old kindergarten wing. Okay?
gotcha, okay.
So we're going to house 4th and 5th grade just in that wing, and then we're going to keep the main hallway open and the cafeteria open, and then the rest of that building gets renovated.
Then they will move back into the
Yes.
38.
Yes.
And then the 56 or 57 will,
Yes. So we're hoping in July of 2022, or somewhere very close to that, we're able to demolish the 56 portion, get that all cleaned up, and then we're going to build a new stairwell on the north side there.
Okay.
So what we're going to have left is just the original 1938 portion of the building, which is by far the best part of that building.
yeah.
From the outside, it's going to look like the historic 1938 building it was.
Yep.
It's going to be gorgeous.
It's going to match my cat's meow, right?
Well, yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. And then on the inside, it's going to be a 21st century learning space. So we're very excited about it. We're trying to blend the design with a very modern kind of school, but keep all that historic character of
Right.
it. So it's, in the end, it'll be a building that we can all be proud of.
That kind of gave me goosebumps. I'm going to share with you, and I don't know if I have before, but I'm just going to share with you. So we moved here not quite 20 years ago. It was in October, November of 2001. So for our community, lots of things were happening, right? And we came right after a fire, and everybody just wanted to love on my boys. And we were coming from a school in Iowa that we had chosen a parochial school because the public school
Okay.
looked like
Sure.
it was going to fall down. Funny enough, 2 years after we moved, it did start falling down. But when we came, I just remember I wanted to see the school. I wanted to see where the boys would be, right? One was going to be at West and one was going to be at Park.
Sure.
And I remember going in and going, oh, this is an old building. And it had some challenges back then. But now the building will match the quality of the programming and the staff that are inside those walls.
Yes, absolutely.
Because that's the one thing that, even with all the challenges that there were, staff made it a really welcoming place for a child,
Right.
a growing human, and the staff were so nurturing. And we would never have managed that transition without them. And so I think that now that we can match those two things
You bet.
with the technology that we have, even 20 years later, is going to be phenomenal.
Yes. I mean, Park Elementary has had just an awesome student culture there.
Yeah.
The staff has created that. And for such a large elementary school to have that kind of intimate learning environment is really uncommon. So I completely agree. And actually, the 1938, if you look at the building itself, it's a great old building. Now, everything inside of it is kind of wore out. Mechanical systems, electrical systems, all that. But that's the part that we're going to refresh, and that'll all be new. So from the outside, again, it's going to have that historic charm of 1938, but the inside, it's going to be an awesome school.
And that end piece that has been the bane of some people's existence who've worked in that
Yes.
building, right?
Yes.
It's created so many challenges,
Right.
but that will then go away. It's going to be a great option.
Yes.
And the school district has hired people who've been working on this tirelessly.
For sure.
So what then, you're thinking that I'm just trying to do so sometime a year from now.
Yeah. So in September of 2022, we're hoping to move the 4th and 5th grade into a brand new renovated Park Elementary. And we're hoping that it'll be completely done. If it's not, there may be some outside stuff left. But for the most part, it will be completed.
That's
Yeah.
really exciting.
Yeah,
That's really
absolutely.
exciting. So what are the challenges that you're dealing with right now in the process of all of this, in the
Yeah.
shifting?
Yeah, and that's probably our biggest challenge right now because we understand how things work in construction, the supply chain. You know
Oh
what?
gosh, I didn't even thought about that. I was
yeah.
thinking about the weather, but the
And
weather's
just
been great,
the
right?
personnel and making sure that we stay on track. This project, we cannot get off schedule. We have to be on schedule because we have to hit these dates. The
Right.
kids are coming back August 30th, if we like it or not. And that's why we have to be ready. And the same thing at Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Right.
We have to be able to make these transitions for our project to keep moving forward. So I'll put in a plug for our general contractor, ICS, and our architects, LHB. And all of our subcontractors have done just an awesome job staying on schedule. But this truly is a logistics piece that we need to make sure that we stay on schedule.
Yeah, I just think of those timelines that have all the different colors and all the different lines and how meticulous that has to be
Right.
to make sure.
Yeah.
Because if something weird happens.
Right.
So I remember when you were working in the high school, I did so much work on the high school. When you all were working on the high school, we were taking some tours, and there was so many connections or bandwidth, or I'm not sure what the word is, for all of the devices. Like I think at one point you told me there was going to be enough connection for everybody to have 5 different devices.
Yeah.
What's that going to look like now?
Yeah, well, of course, technology has changed dramatically since that time. So our bandwidth use has gone way, way up in this past year with COVID and distance learning. We even had more need for more bandwidth. So we continue to ramp that up. But both Park and West and Tiger will all be upgraded with all new switches, routers in the computer area.
Things like that.
And network, yes.
In the high school too, there is an I call it an intercom system where a teacher can be amplified in the classroom.
Sound enhancement systems, yes. We included those in the high school project, and of course, we're including those also in this building. So there'll be central sound enhancement systems in each classroom.
What's the most exciting part? Because you see all the little pieces and parts, but what's the most exciting part for you when you see this coming together?
Yeah, Well, with younger students, the technology stuff isn't as exciting because we want kids to experience learning. We want them to be more hands-on. We don't want them just to sit in front of a screen. So these schools are developed to be more hands-on. I'm excited about our specialist spaces that we're going to have. Our outdoor playground areas are going to be new and refreshed, and we're excited about that as well. So I think there's a lot to be excited about. And they're brand new modern classrooms with new furniture and that kind of thing too to fit the current students. So
Gosh, I hope that you have those triangle chairs that I love so much, where
Yeah.
kids can sit on them, in them, around them.
yeah,
I mean, those kinds of things are really in the forefront of thinking about the student
yes.
instead, and trying to match the student's need versus the other way around, which
Yeah.
I think is huge.
Yeah, you bring up a really good point because in years past we would buy the same desk for every kid with the same chair. We'd put it in a row, and that was the classroom for the year. And we do not do that any longer. We have multiple seat options, multiple desk options. In fact, we just got in a bunch of samples, so when our teachers come back, they're going to be able to try some of these things.
Oh, nice.
And that's going to be our next big order, is to order our classroom furniture. So it's really exciting.
That is exciting. Now, you mentioned a little bit about the fact that everyone, no matter what industry you're in, it doesn't matter, you're having issues getting pieces, parts, goods, supplies. How has that affected this?
Yeah, actually, we've been pretty fortunate with the supply chain. Many of our contractors got in on the front edge of this thing and made sure they had everything we needed for our project, so we feel good about that. The only hang-up we have right now is lockers for Tiger Elementary. They are sitting on a loading dock in Europe right now, and they're just waiting for a ship to take them to us, and they haven't been able to get them shipped. So
Anyone have a ship
Yeah,
we
yeah.
could borrow?
right, that would be handy.
Oh gosh.
So, but if, and we're still hopeful that they'll get here in time, we'll get them installed, but that is probably the biggest hiccup we've had right now.
And if it's some lockers, I mean, it could be way worse.
Yes.
I mean,
yeah.
it could be a
We
heating
can-
system
yes.
in November.
Yeah, and that's no problem. We're going to have heat in Tiger Elementary. That's not
Yeah,
an issue. But
that's really
we can put some
exciting.
code hooks up, and we can make do until they get here. And there's really no other suppliers that we could go to at this
Right,
point
no.
either. So we're just going to have to live with that and figure it out.
Well, you know what? You have managed to overcome so many things this last, I mean, it's got to be like 18 months now. So I think that you'll manage this.
Yes, yeah. We've been in the campaign, election, construction mode since 2015. So we're going into our 6th year of this, and
Yeah.
we've learned lots of things,
Right.
but it's been quite a haul.
I will just say that it always amazes me when I get to go through a new building and I see how things are so different than when we would have gone to school. But even last week we had a tour of at the high school again, and we were taking a couple people through that had not been through there before. And I love seeing how much it's already evolved in the new spaces, and how students have taken pride, how they've been able to embrace what is there and really expand upon that.
Yeah, absolutely. And our student body has really embraced a brand new building, and they treat it like a brand new building. I've been so impressed with our student body and how they've handled those new
Yeah.
spaces. In fact, I think you and I were talking about the light fixtures. The circle light fixtures, yeah, because people said, "Oh my goodness, Darren, those kids, they're going to be ripping those down. They're going to be shooting hoops
Yep.
and doing all this," and we have not had any trouble with those whatsoever.
Yeah, the first time I saw those, I went, I don't know who did that. That was not a mom who did that.
Yeah, yeah. And they're kind of a unique design,
Yeah.
and they're beautiful in those spaces, and kids have treated them that way without incident.
But even being in the school when students are there, now, no, I was not there this last year. Let's just put that out there because nobody was. But when I was in the school before, when the students were there versus the old high school, students conduct themselves differently even, I think. And the level of teamwork, I guess, and collaboration has lent itself because it's there, the opportunity's there, the space is there. they really have taken that on.
Right. Just those open spaces with all the light and the learning corridors that we have now. We
Yeah.
replaced those little thin, narrow hallways with the learning corridors. There's light there. It's really changed the atmosphere.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still teenagers, don't get me wrong.
Well,
We're not
teenagers
gonna
are
change
teenagers.
that.
Well,
Right.
yeah.
But it is a different atmosphere there. So
And
we're
if-
hoping to have the same thing now at Tiger Elementary.
So you were showing some of those. So I think that that'll be great for kids
Mm-hmm.
at a younger age to start experiencing that. When you can go out, and maybe you're helping a friend,
Sure.
and you're not getting hush hush because the teacher's trying to talk or help somebody else.
Right. And the independence with a second and third grade student isn't quite what it would be with
Right.
a junior or a senior, and we
Right.
understand that. But we still wanted to have some of those shared spaces for classrooms to come out together and mix.
Yeah, I love that.
So-
Anything else that you want everybody else to know about public schools right now?
Yeah, well, we certainly appreciate all their support over the last 18 months with COVID and everything else that took place there, and we're going to ask for their help again this school year to keep our students and staff safe as we go through and start another school year. So we appreciate the collaboration and their partnership, and we're looking forward to a great school year.
We're looking forward to it as well. One other thing we didn't mention is that school's starting a little bit early this year.
It is. It's going to start August 30.
Before Labor Day.
Before Labor Day. And that was a request from our contractors.
Okay.
They wanted us to start a little bit early, and they wanted us to get out by May 20. And we weren't able to pull that off,
Okay.
but we will finish our academic year on May 27th.
Okay.
Because we've got a big challenge at Park Elementary, because we have to turn that building around in one summer and have it ready to go by the next fall, because we don't have any alternate space there.
Right.
So this year's school calendar is a calendar I hope to never have to do again, but the construction project necessitated that, so that's
Right.
what we're doing.
And that time helps you with everything else. So then what will happen with next year's calendar? Will it need to push back a little bit so you have time to get kids and the newer old
Yes.
the fourth and
Yeah.
fifth graders moved into the other section so you can renovate that space? Will you have to push that back then?
So we haven't we've got a draft of that calendar at this
Okay.
point. We have not adopted that calendar, but we're likely to either start on time or just a little bit later to buy a
Okay.
little bit more time.
Gotcha.
But we also don't want kids to have a really long summer because they're ready to
Sure.
go back to school. As soon as we start activities, families and kids, they're ready to go back to school too. So we also don't want to create that problem.
Darren, come August, the parents are ready for the kids to go back to school too.
Yes. Yeah. When the moms start calling me, when is school starting? I know.
Yeah, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. When are the class lists out?
Yes, all that.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you to you and the entire staff, because it doesn't matter if you're a teacher or administrator, if you're cooking lunches, if you're cleaning, whatever you're doing, you are helping a child become educated. So thank you to all of you.
Absolutely. And thanks for having me today.
Absolutely. I encourage you to go on to the school's website, isd423.org.
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you very much. You can learn more about the project. You can also get contacts for administration there. You can always give Darren a call and he will answer questions if you catch him in the office, because usually he's out with a hard hat somewhere, I'm guessing. But thank you for joining us today. I hope that you join us next month. School will have already started when I see you again. If you have more questions, you can go to explorehutchinson.com or give us a call at 587-5252.